my subscribers. Welcome to Jamaican chapter. I am Nigel D. Summon. Today I'm coming to you from the district of St. Mary's here in St. Elizabeth, and I will be touring the Anglican church here called St. Mary's Church. It's a very nice community. The breeze is lovely. I'm out on the south area of the parish. You can see it's a farming community. And so, you'll see a lot of farmlands. It's lovely out here, absolutely lovely. My first time here, not my first time in this section of the parish, but it's my first time here in St. Mary's. I didn't even know that there was a community here called St. Mary's. So it's absolutely lovely here. All right, let's go and find out, what St. Mary's have over there. Beautiful community, as I said. It's warm. The breeze is lovely out here. I love it, man. All right, so let's go inside and see what this church has. You take a tour of it, and then learn about those who are buried here. Here on the sign, it says Diocese of Jamaica and the Cayman Island. They say the Anglican Church welcomes you, St. Mary's Church, Southfield, Cure. And it goes on at the bottom here to show you, church services. And you can see they say baptism, marriages, and funerals by appointment. All right. So let's find out more here at St. Mary's. I saw this church on the internet and I say, wow, it's lovely. I like how it is set up on the hilltop, And you gotta walk up the hill. I haven't seen yet when the church was established. Today is a Tuesday. I'm gonna have to tell you the date. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I don't remember in my mind right now. So going up on the church, and the higher you go on the hill, is the lovelier the scenery here at St. Mary's. Again, it's a stone church. And the minute you see stones, you can say, okay, yeah, it's an old church. And then I'm looking back down now from the church. Look at the lovely view from up here. It's beautiful. Wow. So here is the side of the church. And I'm seeing the bell tower. Previous churches that I've been, the bell tower is usually up away from the church. Here you can see that it's actually on the church. Here I'm going to go up these steps. I'm going to walk up these steps. And this chain here, lying on the ground, goes right up to the bell. So they would just hold on to the bell, hold on to the chain, that is, and just pull it and then it would ring the bell. Let me continue to the other side of the church. Here it says rector's parking. So you don't park here. The rector needs to park his or her car here. They still have the no mask, no entry, but of course, COVID is long gone, and it's no longer an effective message. Director's bathroom. From here, you can again lovely view and obviously farming community. Then you have all those graves down there. I'm gonna check them out. I'm definitely gonna check them out. If you watch my videos all the time, you know I'm gonna do that. So it's lovely here. The view here at St. Mary's Church in St. Mary's District, Southfield. No, Malvern. Malvern. I did see Southfield on the map. I don't know. But I don't think we're in Southfield, right? Because I see Malvern in the address when I Google it. So I don't know. St. Mary's Anglican Church. All right. So we have toured the church. Now it's time. Look at this on the ground. Look at this on the ground. It's actually a $20. $20. Is that my lucky day? Is that my lucky day? All right, so I've toured the church. So now let's find out who were these people buried here. I know some of these graves are here for a long time. I don't know when the church was established. I don't see anything, not even on the sign. But Um, they have a phone number, so I hope before this video goes live, I can get through to somebody at that number and find out when the church was established. All right, here at St. Mary's Anglican Church in Malvern area, let's now go to the graveyard. And that's a very important section of history. Let's begin. I'm gonna begin on this side of the church, the left side. Oh, and let me look up here. This is the back of the church. This is the back of the church. Look at that window. Very carefully designed window right up there. That oval window here, there. Carefully designed. You know, a lot of stones build this church. A lot of stones. I wonder what that little part means. That little part that comes out. Maybe it's nothing. You know. That's the back of the church. These churches, they last very long because of how it was designed. So these are the earliest, part of some of the earliest graves here at the church. Look at this one here. And there are two of them actually. Wow. So there is one over there. It was even grilled around, which suggests that the individual was, you know, well respected back then. And it has a headstone on it. This one doesn't have a headstone. And then down in the bush here, there is another grave right there. Oh, hold on, hold on. Let me go over here in this bush. There is another one here. There is another one here. All the way down here. This is a grave, and then you can see like a cross that maybe formed the headstone. It wouldn't be for this because I don't see anything on this that says a headstone was on it. But there's a cross there. I'm gonna try to lift that. Let me pause and try to lift it up to see if there's anything written on it. All right, so I picked it up. I picked up the cross. Hallelujah. I picked up the cross. I looked on it, and there's nothing on it. But it's obvious that it formed part of a headstone. Hold on, did I say nothing is on it? Of course there's something on it. Oh my God, this reminds me of what one of my subscribers said. Bring something. All right, so I spent some time figuring out this headstone. So it says up at the top here, it says, in memory, Eliza Mitchell, who died on the October 1919. Okay, so it's the grave of Eliza Mitchell. But it was found down there, so I'm not sure which grave this fell off from. Hard to say. And I doubt it is this one. This one is too level and clear. So this is not Eliza. There are more graves over here. You can see one in the bush right up there. Right there. Right there. There's one there. And this one that was all grilled around, it has a headstone. I'm gonna see if it'll be possible for me to read that one. Because in the early days, for them to grill it around, it means that was somebody important. And then here is another grave again. They have allowed over here to get all, you know, bush up. So it has a head, something on the plate here. Oh, the passage of time destroyed this head plate. I can see that there are graves from here go right out. The older graves. But no one cleaned up down here, so, you know, you're experiencing that. This kind of loss in history. So that one over there with the head plate, let me see. Alright guys, so I finally found my way inside here where this head plate is. It's still in good condition. And I'm gonna read it upside down. It says, in loving memory of Charles D. Peake. That's P-E-E-K-E. I've never heard that last name before. Peake. So that's in loving memory of Charles D. Peake, who departed this life on the 7th April 1890, aged 70. So he died April 7, 1890. And his grave was grilled around. Very sturdy headstone there. But look at it now. Nobody from 1890 would still be alive to, you know, say, oh, let me fix up this grave. 1890, that's like 135 years ago. This is 2025. And here, there are other graves again without writing. And it goes right out. Okay, so I'm going to focus less on these graves. This is like it was a family plot. You know. A lot of efforts were put into these graves, you know. All right. We have here some older grave also. But they appear to have writings on them that's readable. This says, sacred to the memory of Anne Rebecca Sellars. Sellars. S-E-L-L-A-R-S. Sellars. Again, another surname I've never heard. I wonder if these are white people. Could they be white people? All right, sacred to the memory of Anne Rebecca Sellars, who departed this life 12th November 1935, aged 74 years. So this is the grave of Anne Rebecca Sellars, who died on November 12, 1935. And beside her is another Sellar. This must be her husband. This says, sacred to the memory of Charles Alexander Sellars, who died the 31st December 1927, aged 76. No doubt this might be her husband, Charles Alexander Sellars. He died on the 31st of December, or in other words, December 31, 1927, and then Anne Rebecca Sellars followed in 1935. In loving memory of Roseanne Smith, Smith with a Y, not an I. I've never seen it written with a Y instead of an I. So Roseanne Smith, who departed this life on the 17th April 1927 in her 79th year. So Roseanne died in 1927, the same year that Charles died. Could this be Roseanne's husband? Likely. The name is spelled with the Y instead of the I. This says, sacred to the memory of George W. Smith, who departed this life November 7th, 1918, in his 78th year. And below that it says, till the dawn breaks and the shadows flee away. So this is George Smith, died November 7, 1918. And beside him is the grave of Roseanne, who died in 1927. This is the tomb of Georgina Orinthia Smith, who departed this life on the 29th October 1925, aged 50. She was 50 years old in 1925 when she died, which means that she probably was born in 1875. Another grave here, there's nothing on it. I'm gonna focus less on the graves that don't have anything on it, anything on them. Let me go back up here. This is the grave of Sarah M. Miller, died the 25th January 1970, age 86. So in our way we would say it, Sarah M. Miller died January 25, 1970, and she was 86 years old. Bassett E. Sellars died the 30th June 1967. That's Bassett E. Sellars. 1967. Grace U. Sellars died 25th April 1965, age 64. Grace Sellars. She died on April 25, 1965, at age 64. Oh, this grave is a little tilting. Let's see whose grave it is. And it's a miller. Such a lovely view. Such a lovely view. And the breeze is so nice up here, man. You want to have a veranda, you know, on a place like this, so you can just look out. You know? Lovely. I'm not sure where I'm looking at over in that hill. If I'm looking in Manchester, I'm not sure. This says, in loving memory of Mrs. Hannah Grindley. Grindley or Grindley? Grindley. Hannah Grindley, who died on the 14th February 1924, aged 36. This is the resting place of Mavis Grindley Topper. Maybe Mavis is related to Hannah Grindley up there. She could be related to Hannah Grindley, you know. So here it says, in loving memory of a dear wife, mother, and grandmother, Mavis Grindley Topper, born September 17, 1920, departed January 23, 1990. So Reverend Charles Emmanuel, MADD, not sure what those stand for, devoted rector of this corps for 17 years. Born September 7, 1886, died March 1, 1967. a loving husband and father. So this is the grave of Reverend Charles Emmanuel. This must be his wife. In memory of Mrs. Alma Jane Emmanuel, wife of Reverend Canon Charles L. Emmanuel. She was born on the 30th October 1890, died the 22nd April 1974. A devoted wife and loving mother. I'm not sure if somebody's buried there. I'm not sure. Maybe someone was buried there. I'm not sure. All right, let's go down here. This is an old grave, but it has something on it that looks readable. Oh, this looked like it was standing up and it broke off. Francis Jane Hibbert, who departed this life on the 5th July 1914. So Francis died on July 5, 1914. Francis Jane Hibbert. Could be that it was here and then, the dirt broke it down. Here's the grave of a little baby, buried way back. Nothing there. So we don't know what was the name of this little baby that died. Richard B. Miller, who departed this life at Barrisdale on the 31st July 1921, aged 72. So this is the grave of Richard B. Miller, died on July 31, 1921, at age 72. Grace Miller, this must be his wife, Grace Miller. She died at age 61, but I don't know when she died. Hopefully I find her record. Some of the things on her grave are rubbed out, but it appears that this is Richard's wife, Grace Miller. Amy, that's Mrs. Amy S. Hewitt, who fell asleep on the 7th of October 1972. The grave of Mrs. Amy S. Hewitt. She died on October 7, 1972. Kenneth Audley Hewitt died the 3rd July 1931, aged 17. Oh, Kenneth was only 17 when he died. So this is the grave of Kenneth Audley Hewitt, died July 3, 1931, at age 17. So maybe he was a son of Amy. Could be a son of Amy. Maybe both of them are Hewitt. I'm not sure. William H. Pinnock, who died on the 30th December 1935, age 72. The grave of William H. Pinnock died on December 30, 1935, at age 72. Louis Christopher Hibbert. Louis Christopher Hibbert, born the 3rd of May, 1866, died on the 18th December, 1933. Louis Christopher Hibbert, born May 3, 1866, died December 18, 1933. This grave beside him has nothing on it. Lena, she died on the 6th of the 3, 1969, at age 104. You live very long, 104 years old. Wow. A long time. You can live a long time but not a happy life. But then you can live a happy life and you don't live a long time. But long age, man. Long time. Reverend W.T. Mumford. Again, a surname I've never heard before. Reverend W.T. Mumford, born the 29th December 1889, died on the 18th of February 1976. He walked with God and was not... Okay. The grave of Reverend W.T. Mumford died on February 18, 1976. Henry W. July. I've never seen that last name before. July. Who died 16th of May 1968, age 92. Henry M. July died May 16, 1968, at age 92. The breeze is getting a little heavier up here. Don't worry, guys. I know recording with my phone can be a little can create some distortion, especially when the breeze is blowing. But I have a better recording equipment on the way. I also have a drone on the way. So when I'm doing these, you will see me, giving some overview, aerial view. I wish I had the drone already, but coming next month, that's October, you'll see me using some drone footage. This is the resting place of Brian Barton. who passed away on the 6th January 1969, aged 47. Brian Barton died on January 6, 1969, at just age 47. This is the resting place of, what's that? Is that Crafton? Crafton Stevenson. Crafton. Anyway, Crafton Stevenson died on October 1, 1970, age 49. He was 49 in 1970. This is the resting place of, I don't like these fonts, I can't read these fonts. So I don't know if that is Beunice Monica Henry, who died on March 3, 2010. That's her grave. That's her name there. And she was a Henry. There are a lot of graves here, Lloyd Stevenson died on October 7, 2015, age 64. Boldy Stevenson died on November 7, 2015, age 84. The both of them were Stevenson. I'm trying to read here in line. This is the tomb of Ezekiel Augustus Roy Crawford. Is that Ezekiel or Ezekiel? Ezekiel, I think it's Ezekiel. Ezekiel Augustus Roy Crawford, born January 9, 1952, died December 1, 2009. There's a photo of him there, but it's getting a little rubbed out now. Hubert Smalling. That's Hubert Smalling, born the 10th of the 4th, 1898, died the 13th of the 8th, 1972. This is the grave of Emla A. Green, born December 17, 1883, or 2. No, she was born 1882. So she was born December 17, 1882. Died January 16, 1971. Emla Green. This grave was tiled around, but Something happened to those tiles there. This is the tomb of Agnes Irving, who departed this life on the 31st August 1972. Agnes Irving. This is the tomb of Iris Mullins. Iris Mullins. This is the resting place of Margaret Blake. It's an older grave. Looks as if it was placed on top of another grave. Or maybe that's just the design, because that's how that other one over there is designed anyway. Oh, lovely tiling. Anyone who tiled this did a great job. This is the resting place of I know it's Bent. The last name is Bent. So is that? This is the resting place of Justin Bent. Justin Smiley Bent. July 21, 1932 to September 3, 2015. This is the grave of O'Neill Isaac Bent. He was born on April 15, 1938, died September 16, 2011. I can see over there this other grave that is grilled around, and it's also a Bent. Enid Margaret Bent, our dear sister and aunt. Sunrise, the 1 of the 9, 1935, to sunset, the 9 of the 1, 2007, the resting place of Enid Margaret Bent. And on top of her grave, it appears to be an ornament. Oh, it's not an ornament, it's the same thing. It's not an ornament. It's her name. It's also her name on it. Here is another Bent again. Glary Ruby Miller Bent. Sunrise, the 23rd of August 1904 to sunset, the 30th of January 2000. So she was born on August 23, 1904, and she died on January 30, 2000. Here we're looking at a very older grave, and it says Walter O. 1905. Walter O. 1905. And beside Walter, we have Sarah Georgiana Trenfield. Yeah, Trenfield. She died on June 2, 1917, age what appears to be 31. Sarah Georgiana Trenfield. Looking over on those beautiful trees. So I've read those graves up there. Now, this one seemed like a grave that's recent, but maybe it's over a year now. You know. This is the tomb of Margaret Elizabeth Williams, who departed from us the 29th December 1975, age 96. She was 96 years old. Margaret Elizabeth Williams. And behind Margaret, we have a small grave here. A small grave. It says Micaiah. It says Micaiah Samuel Miller. Micaiah Samuel Miller. This is the resting place of Charles Morel Gunter. Charles Morel Gunter, who died on the 10th April 1931, age 60. Charles Gunter died on April 10, 1931 at age 60. Beside Charles, we have James Gunter. James Gunter, born the 25th December 1861, died the 23rd January 1953. James Gunter. Douglas Little with a Y, not an I. He died the 19th July 1964, age 81. Douglas Little died July 19, 1964, and he was 81 years old. Whose grave is this? Lynette That's Lynette May Little Nee Gunter, who died on May 28, 1973, age 78. So Lynette May Little died on May 28, 1973 at age 78. But then she was a gunter before she became a little. So could this have been her father over here? James Gunter? Yeah. So this could have been her father. Or maybe one of them over here could be her family because she was a gunter. But this maybe be her husband. I'm not sure if I can figure this out. I think I'm gonna figure this one out. Say, in loving memory of I don't know what that is. May Myers Lovell died the 6th of September 1965. May Myers Lovell. Lovely tomb here. Nice styling, but there's nothing on it. Don't just style it up like that. Put something on it, man. Julius Hendricks. That's Julius Hendricks. Died April 21, 1977. Age 84. Julius Hendricks. That's a nice name. Mrs. Mary Hendricks. Died June 20, 1977. Age 77. So Mary Hendricks died the same year as Julius. Godfrey Charles Bent. Love this grave. It's really nicely done. Godfrey Charles Bent, born the 23 of April 1942, died the 8th of May 2024. It says loving husband, devoted father, grandfather, uncle, and friend. Godfrey Charles Bent. This grave looks recent. It looks very recent. You can see some of the wreaths, they are still fresh. It says Dad. Rowan Steve Palmer. That's Rowan Steve Palmer. In loving memory of a son, husband, father, grandfather, brother, cousin, and friend. He died on May 8, 1923. And that's his birthday also. He was born on December 29, 1954. Died March 8, 2023. Irene Smith, born 1902, died January 16, 2001. You were almost 100 years old, Irene. Say, sadly missed by son, relatives, and friends. Almost 100, Irene. Almost 100. Kenneth Roy Metcalf. Kenneth Roy Metcalf. July 6, 1939 to May 24, 2013. I wonder what Kenneth Roy Metcalf was like. Percival Austin. Percival Austin. Sunrise November 2, 1932. Sunset February 10, 2023. They put a dominoes on his grave. He might have loved to play dominoes. Percival Austin. This is the grave of Janita Denisa Alexander. Sunrise May 6, 1942 to sunset April 9, 2024. Janita Denisa Alexander. And beside her here we have the resting place. Such a nice resting place. You know, lovely. Headstone is lovely also. And there's a picture of her. There's a picture here of her. Alright, so it says, missing our mom, a life that touched the hearts of others, lives on forever. Devoted wife and mother, cherished grandmother. Her name is Lola Everney. Lola Everney Ashley. She was born on March 12, 1947, and she died October 15, 2017. She still looks young. Right, so let's continue. I want this to be one video. I don't want to have a part one, part two. So I'm gonna go a little faster. This is the resting place of Derek Mullins. He died on January 4, 2016. He was born on November 3, 1932. And he died January 4, 2016. Carol Rowe. Caroline Rowe. 1894 to 1981. Caroline Rowe. William Rowe. September 18, 1898 to July 7, 1981. 1886. William Rowe. So they could be husband and wife. That could have been the husband, that's the wife, right? I'm assuming that. Caroline and William. Margaret F. Miller, 1886 to 1985. That's Margaret Miller. Arnold T. Miller, November 5, 1889, and he died on June 30, 1978. Arnold Miller. This says Jasper Hewitt died the 28th March 1974. Jasper Hewitt. Daisy Winifred Hewitt, 1905 to 1982. Daisy Winifred Hewitt. This is also a grave that this person was recently buried. Concrete look very fairly new. Oh, I did say that already. Ivy Evelyn Coke, Nee Hewitt. So she was a Hewitt before she married into the Coke family. It says she was born June 5, 1904, died February 11, 1990. This is the grave of Leslie Stanford Mullins, born February 7, 1907, died September 11, 1989. And behind him we see Norma Evadne Mullins, mother, sister, aunt, and friend, born May 16, 1945, died July 19, 2017. This is the resting place of Iris Mullins. She was born the 9th of June 1910, and she died the 1st of June 1961. Alright, so I've read out all the graves which can be read over here. I've read out all these graves. And now I'm gonna go over the other side. That's the right side of the church. The right side of the church. Alright, so The right side of the church has some graves that go all the way around there, which we have seen earlier on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go all the way down there to the front of the church, and I'm gonna go up to the back of the church. Okay, so I'm down here, the bottom of the church, the front of the church. I'm gonna read these graves all the way up. This says, "To the glory of God and in affectionate memory of our dear mother, Mrs. Julia Hibbert, who received the home call on the 30th January 1944. Mrs. Julia Hibbert died on January 30, 1944. And to those who said our mother, they probably had also passed away. It says, sacred to the memory of Alfred Trenfield. That's Alfred Trenfield, died the 14th March 1944. So that's the grave of Alfred Trenfield, died on March 14, 1944. This is the resting place of Albert T. Campbell. He was born on the 11th March 1862 and he died on the 14th March 1944. Albert Campbell. This is the resting place of Mrs. Julia Barrett. That's Mrs. Julia Barrett. And she died in 1945. This is the tomb of Hubert Blair. Hubert D. Blair, born the 5th April 1858, died the 10th November 1946. So 1858 to 1946, Hubert Blair. You notice how well cut those trees are? Yeah, they did them very well. Not everybody know how to maintain these trees. They allow them to grow out of proportion. We had one, it's willow tree, and it grew out of proportion, but these are cut very nice and decent. Mrs. Pinnock. I'm not sure what that like it say G, but her is Pinnock. Died April 4, 1947. Lillian Facey. They say a true and devoted friend who was called to higher service 29th June 1947. Lillian Facey. Love this angel. Lillian Facey. No. Says, in loving memory of our dear sister, she was affectionately called Kitty. Her name is Marjorie Sellars. That's Marjorie Sellars, who died on the 2nd of July, 1949. Daisy July, born the 18th of July, 1894, died the 7th of December, 1952. Daisy July, died in 1952. Wilbert Miller, died April 14, 1957. Wilbert Miller. Henry, what's this? Gifford or Clifford? Clifford. Henry Clifford Reed. So that's Henry Clifford Reed. GG. So they used to call him GG. He died on June 12, 1957. Henry Clifford Reed. This is the grave of so this is the wife, and that's the husband. They're both Reed. Lenley James Gunter. They used to call him Dingwall. Born August 5, 1905, died April 16, 1992. The breeze is getting stronger. Hope it doesn't affect the audio that much. Edmund E. Jones died March 11, 1958 at age 79. Julia Francella Jones, 1891 to 1981. That's Julia Francella Jones, 1891 to 1981. She lived long. Beside her, we have Sarah Catherine Smith, Smith with a Y. Died the 26th September 1958. Man, these are so well manicured. Woo! Oh, feels so good. Oh my God, this feels so good. That's like rubbing my hand in Tina Turner's hair. It feels really good. Simply the best. Better than all the rest. Feels really good. Joseph Winstanley. Oh, hold on. Joseph Stanley. That's Winstanley. Died the 3rd of August 1959. Mrs. Ada Powell. She died in 1960. Ada Powell. These two graves are together. Someone came and painted them, the both of them specifically. This is the resting place of Ehud Sellars. That's Ehud. I've never heard that name. E-H-U-D. Ehud Sellars. Born the 17th May 1895 and died on February 11, 1962. Never get to see Independence Day. This is the grave of Violet Sellars. Born March 5, 1901, died April 23, 1962. Again, she never lived to see Independence Day. So the both of them, they are husband and wife, Ehud and Violet. Esmin Iona Smith. That's Smith with a Y. There's no I. So that's Esmin Iona Smith. Died on the 11th July 1962. Never get to see Independence Day either. Lovely name, Esmin Iona Smith. Can you imagine when she was born? No, they didn't say when she born. She died on July 11, 1962. But just imagine when she was born. Little Esmin running around, going to school and teacher calling to her, Esmin? Florence Edwards, who died the 18th November 1964, age 78. Florence Edwards. Florence. What was Florence like? This is the resting place of P.W. Miller. So P.W. Miller was born on March 25, 1899 and died February 11, 1965. This appears to be an ornament. Phyllis Johnson, August 1, 1930 to August 10, 2015. So it seems like Phyllis was cremated. Okay, so I saw this name back down there. And I said Stanley, but I see that it's a full name here. This is Mrs. Grace Winstanley. Died July 9, 1966, age 67. The grave of Mrs. Grace Winstanley. July 9, 1966. Now we are looking at the grave of Mary Maud Hibbert. Mary Maud Hibbert, who died on the 12th September 1966. Adina Isabel July. This time this July is spelled with E. Julai. EYE. Adina Isabel July. She was born on April 27, 1891, died April 4, 1984. And this must be her husband, William Philip July, November 26, 1892 to May 21, 1979. So he died first, and then after that, Adina died in 1984. That's somebody's headstone right there. So I'm not sure if they replace this, but it says a cellar 1919 to 1994. It's not on any specific grave, so I don't know. This is an ornament. Sandra V. July. Born June 29, 1962. Died January 14, 2001. Her grave is grilled around some flower pots here. We're at the tomb of Gwendolyn July. July, Julye. That's Julye. Gwendolyn July. She was born July 11, 1926, and she died April 2, 2012. Gwendolyn July. This is another look of the church from another angle here. No matter what angle you look at this church, it's still absolutely impressive. Absolutely impressive. Alright, so I'll have to go to those taller tombs there. I'm gonna read those taller tombs and come right back to where I'm standing here. So let me go back down there. This is the resting place of Adela Blair, JP. JP means Justice of the Peace. Born July 3, 1931, died July 9, 1998. The grave of Evelyn Adela Blair. Leslie George Blair, born August 19, 1925, died November 14, 2004. So this is the husband, I believe. So Evelyn died first, then her husband died later in 2004. That's Leslie George Blair. Let me see who this is. This says, in loving memory of our dear brother, Louis C. Blair, 1909 to 1987. These headstones last a very long time because it's It's carved into, the words are carved down into it. Agnes Blair, who died on the 12th of August 1969, age 96. Agnes R. Blair. Ina Brynhild says Ina Miller. She was born on the 14th of December 1911 and she died on the 18th of the 5th, 2002. Alfredo Miller. This is the grave of Alfredo Miller. Alfredo. You know, Alfredo sounds like a Spanish name. Alfredo. He was born the 8th of the 10th, 1919. Died the 21st of the 3, 1994. Alfredo. Sherlock A. Miller. He was called Sam. Born September 30, 1956. Died October 6, 2010. Sherlock A. Miller. He was a father, grandfather, brother, cousin, as they have it on it. I'm going a little fast because I noticed there are many graves out there. So bear with me if I'm going very fast. I'm not gonna read the in loving memory of. I'm just gonna go to the name and date of death. Gloria Hyacinth Plummer. Died December 6, 2020. Gloria Hyacinth Plummer. I believe this might be her husband. Valette Sidney Plummer. Died July 26, 2011. Valette Sidney Plummer. And beside their grave, you see they made a little thing here for some ornament. Somebody's ashes gonna be placed there. Again, I say the wind is very strong. Kenneth L. Parchment died October 15, 2008. Lola M. Parchment, nee Finlayson. So she was born Finlayson, then she married into the Parchment family. Lola M. Parchment. Died June 7, 2010. Be husband and wife. Kenneth Parchment died in 2008 and Lola died 2010. This is the resting place of Islet C. Finlayson. Born August 19, 1904, died February 16, 1992. I was still in school at that time. Agnes I. Finlayson. Died March 18, 1991. Agnes Finlayson. Never heard that last name before though. June 17, 1969. Elma L. Sellars. Died December 8, 1975. Elma L. Sellars. That's what it is. You're seeing it. 1900 to 1977. Michael Samuel Witter. Died on the 16th of February, 1980. That's Michael Samuel Witter. Gemma Blair Witter, nee Sellars. So Gemma was born Sellars, then she married into the Witter family. So Gemma Blair Witter. She was born the 5 of the 12, 1903. She died the 31 of the 3, 1985. Yeah, 1985. So this could be the wife, and this is the husband. Michael Witter and Gemma Witter, husband and wife. Another closer view of the church from the right side. Courtney Anthony Simpson. So they say detective sergeant or Courtney Anthony Simpson. So he was a detective sergeant. And there's a picture of him here. There's a picture of him. All smiling. So he was born on the 18th of the 7th, 1972. And he died the 8th of the 4th, 2013. He is described as detective surgeon. 1972, that's not a long time ago, you know. Here's a picture of a lady. The both of them are here beside each other, but they don't share the same last name. That's her picture there. Nice picture. Say, in loving memory of Myrtilene Dillaha Smith. Aunt Motty. She was born November 22, 1930, died January 19, 2023. Myrtilyn Smith. Oh, this grave looked like it was recent. Look like it is recent. Wow. So many wreaths. So many wreaths. That's the skeleton of the wreath sleeve. And there is a picture of a man from the PNP. Must be his grave. I don't see anything else, so I have to read what it says. Norman Scott. Norman Scott. I don't know anything about him now until I do my research. Say, Mayor Norman Scott, Southeast St. Elizabeth. I'm not sure if this is his grave or somebody just left this here. So, I'll tell you on the screen. There's a picture of him there. You know, Norman Scott, Mayor Norman Scott, Southeast St. Elizabeth. And there's a handband here. Okay. But I don't think so, because I don't think it's a man's grave. There is a wreath and it says mom. Why would the wreath say mom? It says mom. So it's maybe the grave of a woman. I'll let you know on the screen when I do my research. This is the resting place of Virus MacLeod, nee Clocken. So she was born Virus Clocken, then she married into the MacLeod family. She died on March 21, 2008 at age 74. Wilbert Isaac MacLeod. He was affectionately called Mac. Died on the November 24, 2015, age 82. So these are most likely husband and wife. Wow, 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 wow. Look at this. This thing designed really nice. Designed almost like a tree stump. So have you seen somebody's grave that you are related to, or somebody's grave that you knew very well? Let me know in the comment section. Donald Milton Letman, born the one of the two, 1950, died the one of the five, 2018. This is the grave of Donald Milton Letman, died in 2018. The grave of Zerifa, that's Zerifa Rowe, died in March 2014. March 2014 for Zerifa Rowe. Gwendolyn Emmanuel Mullins, born the 12th of May 1930, died April 18, 2011. Gwendolyn Emmanuel Mullins. Somebody left a bottle here. Kenroy Patrick Bent, 1966 to 2005. Kenroy Patrick Bent. There's nothing on this grave yet in terms of names. So this is the other side of the church. Looking good. Looking good. So I'm coming to you from St. Mary's Anglican Church here in the district of St. Mary's, somewhere on the Southfield area of St. Elizabeth. Malvern, Southfield. You know, because the internet say Malvern and I'm seeing Southfield on the sign out there. So, but it's this area that I'm in, here in St. Elizabeth. This is the resting place of Ian Alfonso Palmer, August 24, 1935 to June 24, 2015. Ian Alfonso Palmer. This grave, I don't think I'm able to read this. I'm gonna pass that one. Clement Blake, November 3, 1947 to November 25, 2010. So 1947 to 2010, Clement Blake. It's a nice grave. I love that. Look at that drawing on the tile. You have to be clever to put that together as a tiler, you know. Gina Clementina Blake, May 22, 1916 to August 28, 2006. Nice styling, but the choice of headstone, terrible. You saw cricket rub out. This is the resting place of Stephen Blake, 15 of the 3, 1947 to, it looked like 2004. Stephen Blake. Look like they use the same tiler who did those to do Stephen's grave. Oh boy. I'm not going to be able to read those. Let me see if I can read this one. Seem like vehicles seldomly pass here. I take taxi, you know. So let's see what happened. This is the resting place of Charles Alfredo Letman. So Charles Letman. He died on December 31, 1996. He was born January 28, 1924. So 1924 to 1996 for Charles Letman. This again, this is rubbed out. But let me see if I can figure out the name. This is the resting place of Esperance Mitchell. So it could be Esperance Mitchell, Aunt P. And she died October 9, 2012. She was born on December 13, 1922. All right. Somebody just blew me from a car there. Esmond Mullins, born February 13, 1902, and departed this life June 30, 1990. Esmond Mullins. Can't believe I don't see a summon. I don't see a summon out here. Stanford Whitley. Or Whiteley. Whiteley. Stanford Whiteley. He was born on September 16, 1918 and died February 2, 1987. So 1918 to 1987 for Stanford Whiteley. Wow, the rain. The rain is gonna fall. Rain has been falling every evening recently here in St. Elizabeth. I love it when the rain falls frequently, especially out here or anywhere where you have farming. You know, you need the rain. You don't need too much rain because that can damage your crop, but you definitely need frequent rain if you don't have pipe water. This is the resting place of Gwendolyn Whiteley. She was born on January 1, 1914, and she died September 5, 1993. So she's probably the wife of Stanford Whiteley over there. Gloria Louise Blake, born January 28, 1956, died November 10, 2023. Gloria Louise Blake. Wonder what Gloria was like. There's a grave down here. My God, I just used my dirty hand to touch my face. So there is a grave here and they put something on it. Not sure what it is. Let me look under it. Not sure what it is, but I'm gonna take a peek. I need to see what is under this thing. I'm gonna put it back. So no problem here. I'm just gonna put it back as soon as I see whose grave it belongs to. Let me see. Peter Atkinson. What's that? Rodwell. And there's a picture of him here. There's a picture of Peter. So Peter Atkinson Rodwell, November 3, 1959 to December 20, 2023. Okay. So this is the grave of Peter Atkinson Rodwell. I'm gonna put back everything on it. Alright, this is the grave of Peter Rodwell. Wow, this is the back of the... I haven't read those graves up there, you know. I followed this line of graves. So let me go up here now and see who are the individuals who were buried here. Oh, Mabel Palmer died the 21st of April 1981, age 76 years. That's Mabel Palmer. Beside Mabel, we have Walter Trendfield, died the 10th of the 6th, 1979. Walter Trendfield. So he died June 10, 1979. Iris M. Trendfield, born August 13, 1907, died January 3, 2001. Iris M. Trendfield. This is the resting place of Olive Simpson. I think that's what it is. Olive Simpson, born January 1939, died September 8, 1991. So Olive Simpson, born in 1939, died 1991. Julius Augustus White, born February 16, 1911, died the 7th of the 8th, 1996. Julius Augustus White. And beside Julius, we see Frances Elizabeth White, born February 12, 1928, died October 4, 1998. So Frances Elizabeth White most likely is the wife of Julius over there. So Julius died in 1996 and she died in 1998. Eula E. Rowe, born August 8, 1906, died March 26, 1994. Eula E. Rowe. And there is a grave, no, this is not grave, maybe this is an urnement, meaning the individual was cremated. It says Kenneth George Da Costa Rowe. That's Kenneth George Da Costa Rowe, born Sunrise March 4, 1941, and he died on December 31, 2018. So this is likely, the Kenneth is likely the son of Eula. Eula. No doubt, because she born in 1906 and he born in 1941. So she would be like 35 when she had him. And then this look like the husband, Wilfred Rowe, born June 7, 1907, died May 9, 2014. So this is what I think happened. This is Wilfred Rowe, the husband, his wife, Eula Rowe, and their son, Kenneth. Wilfred was the last one who died. No. The son is the last one who died. He died in 2018. So you have father, son, mother. This is the resting place of Egbert A. Wint. That's his name right there. Egbert A. Wint. He died, he was born on September 12, 1920, died July 12, 1995. 1920 to 1995 for Egbert A. Wint. I don't know how to pronounce this name. I don't know if it's Lily or Lily. Lyle. I'm gonna say Lily. Lily Clark died January 24, 1996. Oh, there's two of them. And Daisy Clark died January 24, 1996. I wonder why the two of them died on the same day. They were kind of old, because Lily was born in 1917, Daisy was born 1912. The both of them died on January 24, 1996. So it seemed like they buried the both of them in here. The both of them casket were buried here. So I don't know how they died on the same day. Could it be an accident or just coincidence? I don't know. I'll try to see what I can find. Died on the 9 of the 10, 1996. Violet May Palmer. Jasper Palmer died October 2, 2002. Grave of Jasper Palmer. I'm going a little fast because I don't want the video to be too long. Hazel Wallace died November 19, 1998, and she was born here September 13, 1918. So that's Hazel Wallace, died November 19, 1998. Oh Lord, I don't know who this is. Louise Hebert, born the 28th of the 8th, 1911, died in 1999. I can figure the 1999 out. Louise Hebert. This is the resting place of Leonard Wilfred Letman. Died October 7, 2001. Doris May Letman died the 4 of the 4. So that's that's April 4, 2009. So Doris Letman and Leonard Letman, likely that they were husband and wife. Two wreaths are on this grave. This is the grave of Daniel George Barham, born the 6th of the 8th, 1914, died the 16th of the 4, 2006. So that's Daniel George Barham. And over here we have Eunice May Victoria Barham. So she died February 7, 2019. That's February 7, 2019. Keith Artwell Reed Sr. March 27, 1942 to May 23, 2019. Sadly missed by Annette. That's wife Annette. Keith Artwell Reed died May 23, 2019. Right, so I've read over there already. Now there's one more row for me to read. And it's this row right out there. It's two of them. I'm gonna go a little faster now. Nathan Claudius Simpson died December 7, 1972. That's Nathan Claudius Simpson. Ellen Elizabeth Simpson died August 25, 1971. They're likely husband and wife. She died in 1971, Ellen, and Nathan died the following year, December 7, 1972. They died just 1 year after each other. Martella Adora Stewart died December 19, 2011. That's Martella Adora Stewart. Could this be her husband? Wesley George Stewart died May 3, 2012. I think so. Wesley might be the husband of Martella. Their graves are joined together. I'm looking now at the grave of Leslie Egbert Williams. Died January 6, 2002. Say sadly missed by wife, children, and other relatives. Leslie Egbert Williams. He died on January 6, 2002. And let me just look at this grave as I'm passing it. This look really new. This look like it just happened. Let me turn this over and see what it says. Granddad. No, that's granddad. No, grandma. Mom. So it's a female that's buried here. They say grandma, and the other read says mom. And this one says Aunt Jem. Aunt Jem. So they might have called her Aunt Jem. It's really recent. You can see it. This is probably the most recent. Probably. They still have the slab on it. Violet Minot. The grave of Violet Minot. Died February 6, 2000 and... Somebody let something. Let me see if I can. Like when they were working on Aunt Jem grave, they flash this thing and it covers it. So Violet Minot, she died in 2000 and something. Maybe 2002, I don't know. These two graves are painted in the same colors. Might be husband and wife. Brenton, born the 27th of the 6th, 1923, died the 1 of the 4, 1998, age 75. Grave of Brenton. Okay, it's Bins. Bins. If they're, it could be Bins. Brenton Bins. I'll look at it if it look like a Bins. Yeah, Bins. So it's Brenton Bins. And this must be his wife, Elsie Elnora Bins. Born January 14, 1930, died November 13, 1988. So Elsie died first and then Brenton after that. They're husband and wife. These graves look like they were just not too long grilled around. I have to stand up carefully now. I'm gonna read this. It says Daisy D. Bent died February 19. Oh Lord. Let me get a little closer. I want to make sure I'm not incorrect. Died February 18, 1984, age 67. So that's Daisy D. Bent. February 18, 1984, at age 64. So buried beside Daisy, we have Ethel M. Blair. She died October 11, 1983, at age 101. So these are the graves of two females. So this is the grave of Ethel, and that's the grave of Daisy over there. They just grilled them around. You can see it's a recent grill. You can even smell the grill. Janet May Clacken She was called Peggy. Born May 1, 1948, died December 26, 1980. She was young. She was young when she died. Janet. The grave of Janet May Clacken. So they called her Peggy. Estelle Millicent Palmer. She died on June 3, 1979. It's a long time. This is the grave of Brenton Earl Clacken. They called him Junior. He was born on the 2nd of June, 1957, and he died on the 21st of September, 1978. He was young. 1957 to 1978. He was like 21 years old. He's like 21 years old. Brenton Earl Clacken. They call him Junior. Harold Alfred Clacken. Born February 28, 1902. Died January 8, 1985. Probably the father of Brenton over there, the young guy that died. 1902 to 1985. That's 1902 to 1985. He the father of Brenton. There's another Clacken, Myrtle May Clacken. August 28, 1916 to October 14, 2010. So Myrtle is probably the wife of Harold right there. Down here we have the grave of Derek Roy Clacken. Born May 28, 1944, died September 22, 1990. So he was in his 40s when he died. Yeah, it was about 40, 46. No, maybe 46, 45. You know. And he's part of the Clacken family, so he's likely the brother of the young Brenton over there. So a son, mother, father, and then another son over there. And the two brothers died young. I mean, you have no control over when you die, you know. I mean, if you're careless, you can die young, but I mean, they would say when the time come, huh? This is the resting place of Beatrice E. Hanson. That's Beatrice E. Hanson. Born July 23, 1906. Died February 13, 1981. The grave of Beatrice Hanson. This is the resting place of Hilton A. Hanson. Born November 10, 1905. Died July 3, 1978. Husband and wife. Hilton the husband, Beatrice the wife. Over here we have the resting place of Charles Miller, who departed this life April 8, 1981. Is that 81? Yeah. 1981, age 76. Charles Miller. Wow. I think I missed those two graves over there beside the meter. I think I've not read them. And then there are two graves here. Oh, so let me go here first. These are closer to me. I'm gonna go up there. See those old graves up there? I'm gonna see what I can find on any of them. Winston Bancroft Clacken. April 6, 1950 to January 7, 2023. You believe that Winston Clacken is related to the young Brenton Clacken down there? I believe so. I believe that that's his mom, Myrtle, and his father. I remember the name. So those three down there that I just read, this could be him. He survived. If that's the case, he survived for a long time. You know. And here we have Duja Rohan Clacken. February 2, 1976 to December 3, 2005. He was young. He was about 29 when he died. Oh man, my throat is getting dry. That's why I always have to carry water in my bag, you know. Here's another recent grave. And does it say mom? What does it say on it? It says SMJ. What does SMJ means? What does it mean? SMJ. I don't know. Why does this man's face look so familiar? In loving memory of Bertram George Littleton. November 26, 1939 to February 19, 2022. That's February 19, 2022 that he died. And there's a picture of him here. Bertram George Littleton. Alright, so I've read out all the graves here on the right side of the church. So I'm gonna go up there now and see what I can understand from those old graves. Alright, so I'm gonna go up now to these old graves all the way up here that have fallen into ruins. There's nothing on these to read. They have all fallen to ruins over the years. That's why maintenance is key, you know. Because you see how pretty those graves down there are? 200 years from now. I know. Because when these graves were just made, they were maintained. But then the generation around them died. The daughter, the son, the grandaunt, the whatever. And they are no longer around to take care of them. So they are left to the future. But the future doesn't relate to them, so nobody cleaned them up and fixed them up. All these are earlier graves of people who were once a part of this church. This grave here, it has something written on it. Let me see if I can read it. It says, in loving memory of John Ash, like it has said John J. W. Ash. So I'm going to say John Ash, who departed this life on the 20th May 1931, age 81. Says John Ash, he died in 1931. So he departed this life on the 29th, the 29th of May 1931. That's John Ash, 1931. The rest of the graves here, this side looked like it was the older side. Oh my God, there are graves all the way up there in that bush. I'm gonna go over and see if I can find any grave that is readable. This one looks sturdy from afar. Boy, I'm glad I'm wearing Clarks, eh? Thanks to my auntie who sent this to me. I usually buy some shoes that couldn't manage these kind of things. So, this is a sturdy grave. I knew something would be on it when I was down there. Now, let me look down there. So, those are some graves there. All the way around there. Those are graves. This is the earlier section of the church. Man, all they had to do is just clean it up once a week, and it wouldn't go into such a ruin, you know. This say, sacred to the memory of Louisa Smith, the beloved wife of the Venerable William Rowe, Archdeacon of Cornwall, who departed this life, and they're talking about Louisa now. Louisa departed this life on the what? The 8th of June, 1878. I think that's 1878. In the 59th year of her, maybe that's life. Okay, so Louisa Smith, she was a wife of the Venerable William Rowe. So that means she was Louisa Smith Rowe. And she died at age 59 on June 8, what appears to be 1878. I'll try to find a record and see if I can get the correct thing of it. So this is the older. So where is her husband's grave? Boy, if that's William's grave, boy. Oh, William. Oh, William. Ah, I'm gonna go a little more in this bush. I can see a grave up there that looks like it has something that can be read. So, no, that cannot be read. There's nothing on it. And all these graves from the 1800. I don't say 1800, I'm talking from like the 18 this, 18 that. They're all in ruins. I go up here and see if I can find another grave that can be read. I guess all these old graves someday are gonna become stone to build something else. Oh, this gives me a nice view of the church from the back. This is the church from the back. I think this is the side. This is not the back, this is the side. Not because the road is over there, but this is the other side. The back would be down there, the front there, and this is the side that is like the back. This is another view of it. Lovely church. I wonder what was that? Was that a tank? This right here? I'll check it out later. Man, there are lots of graves up here. I tell you that. Lots of graves. Look at this one. This one is still in good condition, but nothing is on it. I can see the old stone wall up there that they used to have. These graves are very close to each other, like the husband and wife. This one, wow. This one has some writing on it. So let me see if I can make it out. Says, why does it sound like that when I stomp my foot on it? Oh, let me pause and see if I can figure it out. Cannot read it. Cannot read it at all. But this is someone important, of course, no doubt, the way it was designed. Let me see if I can read this one. Yeah, this one look like I'm able to read this one. It says, in memory of Nicholas Lawson Darrah, 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 Nicholas Lawson Darrah, late something of something. He died at Potsdam. Okay, Potsdam. He died on February 15, 1851. This stone is placed by his widow. Maybe that's the widow over there. Because you place the stone in 1851. 1851. Then you are not around. The widow is somewhere. Maybe that's her. But there's nothing on her grave. So this is the grave of Nicholas Lawson Darrah. Died February 15, 1851 at Potsdam. That's where Monroe College is. I think before Monroe College was called that name, it was called Passdam. Passdam College or something like that. I'm gonna see if I can figure who's buried here. Say, in beloved memory of William Newman, who died August 15, 1868, aged, I don't see the age. So William Newman, he died on August 15, 1868. My word. So this is absolutely the first section, the first graveyard of the church. The first graveyard before they start burying at the front. And they'll allow it to fall apart like this. Just somebody to clean it up once a week. Alright, so I just stopped to have something to eat. Always have to bring something to eat and something to drink when you're coming this far. Alright, so I'm still in the section where you have the older graves, the oldest graves. And it's an abandoned section. I looked around. I see some graves that look as if they can be read again. And so, not read again, look like they can be read. So, if possible, I try and see if I can make out the names of those on them. Here we have a grave, and it says, "Sacred to the beloved memory of John Stephen Nation." I think that's Nation. So John Stephen Nation, who departed this life at Berlin the 1890. So May 31, 1890, he died, and he was 42 years old. Likely that he was a white man. John Stevenson Nation. All the way back in 1890. Can't believe there are more graves down there. There are more graves all the way down there. Man, they need to clean this place up. Oh, I can see grave all the way down in that bush. So there are many graves here. This says, let me see what this says. This says, "In fondest memory of Jane C. Hyam, who died at Berlin on the 4th of August 1925, age 78. The resting place of Jane C. Hyam." And beside J.C. Hyam is another Hyam. Could this be her husband? Could this be her husband? Say, "Sacred to the memory of," what's that? AUG Og Hyam, who departed this life on November 8th, on the 1st of November 1871 at Berlin, age 35. He was just 35 years old. He died at Berlin. You know, this writing looks very clear to read. Just have to get away the bush. Let me pause. All right, so after scraping away the bushes, it says, in loving memory of Albertine Nation, who departed this life on the 28th May 1930. Yes. So Albertine Nation died on May 28, 1930. Albertine Nation. There's a nameplate here. So if this is readable, appears so. Let me pause and clean it up. This says, sacred to the memory of William Finlayson, who departed this life August 30, 1871, aged 76. Now, if you're 76 in 1871, it means that you were around when slavery was active in Jamaica. So this is the resting place of William Finlayson, who died on August 30, 1871. And here we are at the resting place of Lydia M. Finlayson. Died the 28th October 1887. So this is likely the wife and this is the husband. William died in 1871 and Lydia Finlayson died in 1887. So likely that they are husband and wife. Husband, wife. Oh, I guess that's all I can read now from here. But as I said, there are many graves over there in that bush. Many of them. So this was absolutely the first section that they were burying the deceased. And then it started to fall into ruin. It still can be fixed up, you know. Once the church have some money and can, you know, spend, they could fix it up. Henrietta M.T. Wright. So it's a memory of our beloved aunt, Henrietta M.T. Wright. Born the 27th November 1839, died the 6th April 1892. This must be a tank. It is. It is a tank. You can see that the gutter leads right to it. This is a small grave. Must be the grave of a child. Yeah, and that one over there looked like the grave of a child. And there's another one up there that looked like the grave of a child. This one has writing. It just says, in loving memory of Owen Sellars. He was called Boy Boy. That's Owen Sellars. Owen Sellars, he died as a child. Alright guys, so I have come to the end of my recording here at St. Mary's Anglican Church here in St. Elizabeth out in the southern area. And I want to thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to see you again in the next video. My next church tour video will be on St. Mark's. Is it Anglican? St. Mark's Anglican Church in Southfield, St. Elizabeth. So I'm now leaving St. Mary's Anglican Church in St. Mary's district. Nice district, comfortable district, lovely district. And as the church go further away from me in the background, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in another interesting video like this.